So for those of you people who live under a rock and somehow haven't heard of this story, the famous YouTuber EDP445, otherwise just known as EDP, has been caught for a third time texting minors. He went to go meet up with a 13-year-old girl who he was texting online. Girl wasn't actually 13. It was a decoy set up by a group known as the Predator Poachers, who have also been kind of a questionable figure in this whole story. It's kind of unfolding. This video is pretty much for people who already know the whole story. If you don't know the story, if you don't know the lore, you can always go look at the one I made around a week ago that kind of explained the whole situation. But this video is for people who pretty much know already the details of what happened. So without any explanation or further ado, I'm basically explaining to you why I personally don't believe that EDP will be arrested, prosecuted, given jail time for any of this at all. But first, this is obvious, but there are some idiots and assholes out there. I'm not a lawyer. I have no law degree whatsoever. I'm not a judge. I'm just strictly giving you my opinion of what I think may happen. I'm not telling you what is going to happen. I have no involvement with this case, if there ever is one. I have no involvement with it whatsoever. So with that out of the way, I'm going to explain to you why I don't think the EDP will get arrested for what he's done recently. So the main reason is the incompetence of the Predator Poachers themselves. The Predator Poachers, their main goal is not to catch predators and prosecute them and actually, rid the world of individual pedophiles. Their goal is to just get views on YouTube. And they've shown that in a multitude of different ways. One main reason being, they, according to several sources, they actually decided to wait several days to release this video just so they could get full monetization off of it. They wanted to capitalize off of it as much as they possibly could, so they literally waited to get full monetization on YouTube. So obviously, they're not exactly, they don't exactly have the best morals under their belt, but that's not any reason that has anything to do with EDP being arrested. The main problem with Predator Poachers being kind of incompetent in this stance is the fact that they call the police after they confront EDP. Take somebody like Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen, when Chris Hansen conducts his stakeouts, his baits, his just attempts to catch pedophiles, he calls police and professionals weeks in advance and sets them up in the house so, the predator doesn't see them. They're hidden. And he prepares so that the police catch these people in the act, admitting to everything. And they don't do this here. They actually inform EDP directly, hey, I'm calling the police, which gives him the opportunity to then walk to his car and drive away. Whereas if they simply had prepared beforehand, EDP would probably be in a prison or a jail right now. Another thing is the fact that, when private investigators in general get involved in things like this, it usually makes police investigations go a lot slower, and it usually makes police investigations a lot harder. When private investigators interfere catching people and things like that, it makes it a lot more difficult and it makes the process a lot more slow for the police to actually catch these people. And another thing that's not really, I'm not saying, again, not that he definitely won't get arrested, but another thing is that police, especially around the area EDP lives, loud ass fucking car, police are typically not too concerned with individual pedophiles, especially ones that have not caused any physical harm to anybody, at least to the best of my knowledge. Police are more focused on solving things like pedophile rings, sex trafficking rings, groups of people who commit crimes like this, people who, cause huge problems with crime, not individuals, who haven't really done anything physically to anybody, again, to the best of my knowledge. Another thing is that the decoy that Predator Poachers used was actually 18 years old. I know next to nothing about how, this law kind of works. But basically, the Predator Poachers are using an 18-year-old decoy. And since this decoy is 18 and EDP is going to meet with them, that is technically consensual. And while, yes, morally, that's obviously not a good thing to do, that may not hold up in court because he is consenting with an 18-year-old to go meet with them, regardless if the 18-year-old is disguising themselves as a 13-year-old or not. And yes, he did have the intent. which is mostly why I'm not 100% sure about this. This is just kind of like a what if kind of thing. I don't think, that since this person was actually 18, I don't know how that would hold up, honestly. Because, yeah, he did have the intent, and I don't know if having the intent to do something is a crime, and having the intent to do something is also kind of hard to prove as well. I mean, obviously not in this case because they have the screenshots, but, overall. But as of right now, both EDP and the Predator Poachers have been removed off of YouTube completely. The Predator Poachers, Chet Goldstein, YouTube has kind of gone over the past of his channel, him saying the N-word on live several times because, he's a white ginger. He said the N-word on stream multiple times with the hard R. He has actually had decoys that are actually legitimately minors in the past. He had from what I heard, a 13-year-old decoy that he asked for pictures from. So Chet Goldstein and Predator Poachers have been really removed from YouTube. Same with EDP. His gaming channel, EDP's gaming channel, and his cooking channel are still up as of today. As of right now, they're still up. All the Chaotic Kitchen 445 channel and the EDP Gaming 445 or whatever it's called, those are still up, but his main channel and the Predator Poachers channel are gone. I haven't checked to see if his backup channel is removed, but I'll go look at that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this isn't definitely what's going to happen. This is just kind of what I think is going to happen, because there have been a lot of people saying like, oh, EDP, he's going to be behind bars. Oh, EDP, he's going to blah, 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 blah. Honestly, I don't think EDP will suffer legally from this. And he'll definitely, suffer as far as his reputation goes. Because, I mean, I don't know how much money this man has made from YouTube. But if he hasn't made enough to, be comfortable for the rest of his life, it's going to be pretty hard for him to find a job or a career if nobody's going to hire him. So, while he may not suffer from this legally, he's definitely going to suffer from it socially, reputationally, pretty much every single way except legally. Because while this is, of course, morally wrong, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be arrested, I definitely think he should be. I just don't think he will be. Obviously there are some loopholes in the legal system that EDP may be able to exploit if he gets a good lawyer, because, like I said, he's a man with a lot of money that he's earned from YouTube. So yeah, I guess that is it. See you guys whenever.